for all the latest community news and events.
103.2 Preston FM.
Your community, your radio.
Okay, well, Heart Research UK have been helping Heart since 1967. Heart Research UK is a visionary national charity founded in 1967 by Yorkshire heart surgeon Dr. David Watson, MBE, who realised that patients were dying unnecessarily because of the lack of research into heart disease, especially surgical techniques. More personally, he was frustrated at having to tell heart patients that there was little he could do to help them and wanted to do more, so he set up the charity to make it happen. And to tell us a little more about Heart Research UK, it's lovely to welcome on the show this morning Catherine Greathead. And Catherine, I think you're the Lifestyle Officer, is that right?
Good morning, Huey. Yes, I am. I am Lifestyle Officer, an unusual title, but I guess it explains that I work in lifestyle prevention of heart disease.
Right. So exactly what is it? And tell us a little about Healthy Hearts and Heart UK, about the research.
Well, as you, in your brilliant introduction, you summed it up perfectly, what the aims of the charity have been for the last 47 odd years. And obviously the main aim is medical research. Sadly, heart disease is still one of the biggest killers out there. And this heart muscle, it does a lot during our lifetime, and the little arteries can get clogged up through various things that we throw our heart's way, and so there's a lot more medical research that's needed. It's just ongoing, and huge advances have been done. But obviously we're interested also in preventing heart disease in the first place, so that's why Heart Research UK is very keen to work in prevention, in educating and enabling people to make the positive lifestyle choices that will help them avoid heart disease in the long term. Right.
And you work across the country. How do you make grants possible? How does that work?
Well, obviously our medical grants are all done the sort of medical research people are aware of the process, but our Healthy Heart grants that are aimed at community projects, we have 2 rounds each year, and we invite organisations across the country to apply. They can ask for up to £10,000 for a project that will really promote heart health, very much have heart at its focus. And we'll maybe perhaps look at giving cooking advice, enabling people to exercise more, lose some weight, better still, quit smoking, all those sorts of initiatives. And we're very keen to hear from small community and voluntary organisations, not-for-profit charities, who are obviously experts in their community, who know the sort of people that they work with, who know where the target groups are, and who have got the wherewithal to help these people make those little but significant changes that can have such an impact.
And what are some of the things that community groups will do? Because I see that in the last 10 years that 1.2 million has been given to community-based lifestyle projects. So it's very, very serious money that is put into prevention. What are some of the things that the community groups that have been involved previously done to raise the awareness?
It's been quite varied, which is fantastic, and we're always looking for innovative approaches, things that are different. But I guess a lot of the work has been done in primary schools with perhaps the charitable arms of football clubs that have gone, or other organisations, YMCAs and other smaller groups that have gone into schools and done a theory session followed by physical activity, playing circulatory games, all based around the circulation system, really inspiring and motivate them to make changes. We've also had unusual things like circus skills to perhaps reach those young people who are less engaged with traditional sports. We've had awareness through museums who've put on really interactive shows, but also working with the South Asian community who unfortunately are naturally at a higher risk of heart disease. So again, working with them to adapt their recipes, do exercise in a way that they feel comfortable with culturally. So lots of different approaches. One of our latest awards is we're looking at the heart of a gladiator. We've got a group who is specializing in archaeology and who's suggesting that the Roman diet used to actually be quite high in whole grains and fruit and vegetables.
Yes.
So they're going to use gladiator exercises and gladiator diet to inspire young children with special needs to take care of their most important muscle, which is the heart.
Wow, that certainly sounds very interesting.
It does.
And another project that I think is underway at the moment, which is really important, is the one looking into improving the monitoring of babies returning home after complex heart surgery. And I think there's some important work being tested at Birmingham Children's Hospital that could ultimately save lives.
That's right. I mean, obviously, for many children, babies and children who've had important surgery, it's and I can understand it as a parent. You must be very anxious about what your child can or can't do. And this is research that is going to give parents the confidence, the wherewithal, the skills to really support their child so they can live a normal life and carry on doing the exercise and all the things that a normal child should do, which will benefit them. So a really exciting and a really important project.
It certainly sounds so. So, Catherine, how about Heart Research UK? How do you fundraise yourselves?
Well, it's good of you to ask because, we don't receive any government funding. This is all money that has been donated over more than 45 years by members of the public. We're very grateful that so many people have been so generous. We have people who run for us. So if anyone in the new year wants to set a 2014 goal and run the London Marathon or the Great North Run, or we've got lots of family 5Ks with Subway coming up. So there are lots of challenges out there which are a great way to look after your heart, yourself through doing the event, but also then raise money for a very important cause. We've got singing. At the moment, we've got our Sing for Your Heart campaign. There's a lot of evidence, and it's been in the news recently that singing is good for many aspects, for improved breathing, for improved immune systems. Also, singing in a choir can have sort of the calming and benefits of perhaps yoga. So we've got a Sing for Your Heart campaign where we've got choirs in different cities across the country who will be in stations and at shopping centres, and then there will be people with buckets standing there hoping for some, the odd pennies that all add up. So in fact there'll be one, I know it's not quite next door to you, but Liverpool on the Liverpool One shopping centre on Wednesday the 18th of December. So next week there is a school there that will be between 11 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. So if anyone fancies going along and would be able to help with holding a bucket, we'd love to hear from them.
Yes, we're not far from there, so I'm sure lots of our listeners go over to Liverpool One. And another nice thing that often we probably don't think about these things, but one of the things in raising money, the organisation, which is quite nice, is the fact that you put faith in young researchers on their first steps on the research ladder. And I think that is a nice statement to make.
That's right. That's something we're really proud of because, we are the second largest heart charity, and obviously there's one that's so much bigger than ours. But we are able to fund young people with a significant but sort of smaller grant to get them equipped, and give them the sort of skills and knowledge to then go on perhaps and secure a much larger grant from a larger charity. So we're very proud of the fact that we're there sowing seeds, and that's very much true for our Healthy Heart grants as well. We often fund smaller projects, run them for a year, and they develop and grow, and then secure funding and continue. So it's all about sowing seeds, healthy lifestyles from the beginning and working with children, and hopefully the legacy will be a future with far less heart disease. Well, that's the plan.
That's right. Catherine, where's the best place for our listeners to go so they can get involved, they can help support, maybe run the marathon or make donations? I'm sure we can get listeners to Preston FM doing things like this. There are a great lot of listeners out there always wanting to help. Where's the best place for them to go to find out more information?
I guess the best way, we'd love to hear from you all. Please come and visit our website, heartresearch.org.uk, and you will find the telephone number there and email address. We'd love to hear from you. We've got some lifestyle leaflets that you can download. You can give us a call. We can send you some treasure chest envelopes so that you can recycle all your old bling and all those things you don't want anymore, which again can help us raise money. And we'd love to hear from you all.
Brilliant. And Catherine, as the lifestyle officer, I think we did touch on it, and that is the importance of diet. And I think one of the diets that you think is a good diet to follow is the Mediterranean diet. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. There's a lot of evidence that, that the true original Mediterranean diet is one of the best ones out there in terms of heart disease. Now, obviously, it's a bit tricky perhaps putting the entire Mediterranean diet on the British plate. We have different sort of products to choose from in our shops, but I think very much, the 5-a-day message is crucial. The more fruit and vegetables you can eat as part of your diet, the more whole grains you can include, the better. The Mediterranean diet did include obviously a lot of olive oil and olives, some dairy products, the feta cheese and tomato salad, lots of herbs, perhaps of using herbs instead of salt. A little bit of red wine was definitely part of the Mediterranean diet. So it's a beautiful, very colourful diet, high in antioxidants, lots of healthy polyunsaturated fats, lots of fibre, and also protein, which keeps you fuller for longer. So it's definitely something we must try and include as much as possible. But I noticed you mentioned you'd had porridge this morning.
Yes.
Now that may not be part of the Mediterranean diet, but that's definitely a winner for heart health. So good for you. As long as you don't drown it in golden syrup and sugar and all those things, it's a good start.
No, I must admit it's one of these just plain porridge, the new kind. I don't know if you've seen them. You actually put the milk into the packet and then put it into the dish. Now, I do have problems at that point. Putting the milk actually into the packet where the porridge is often a disaster, but I do love porridge.
A challenge, yes. But no, it's a really good way to start the day. I think breakfast is an important meal, and if you accompany it with perhaps a glass of fruit juice, then you've got a little bit of extra antioxidants and vitamin C. And again, having a scrambled egg for breakfast occasionally is a good thing. I guess the key thing is to keep it varied.
Yes.
We so often just get stuck in a rut, and even more so at this time of year. And what with Christmas coming up and all those Christmas puddings, and but there are the good old Brussels sprouts out there to include, and other things like that. So we can still at this time of year keep our diet as heart healthy as possible.
Well, Catherine, it's been lovely to speak to you this morning, and just give us that web address again so listeners can go and have a look at it.
It's heartresearch, all one word, .org.uk.
Okay, well, enjoy the remainder of the day, and thanks for talking to us on Chat City.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, Huey, for inviting us onto your show.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. If you've enjoyed today's interview, why not tweet Huey at ChatCityPFM.